Okay, how you guys doing? I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. My name's Whip, Nathan, Nate, whatever you want to call me. Most people just call me Nate, or Nathan, or Whip. So one of the three, those are the three options you got, and that's what you can call me. So this is my build that we're going to be looking at today. It's nothing fancy, it's nothing great. My Titan looks fantastic, I will say that, but as far as the build goes, it's not really like a fantastic build. It's not terrible. I think it's pretty cool. But today's video is not actually going to be about a particular build. It's going to be kind of about the transition to PC. It's kind of like an update to transition to PC. Using mouse and keyboard, hit registration, but most importantly, I'm going to be talking about sniping today. So I've been trying to branch out from using a bunch of different stuff, whether it be I don't know, like snipers or fusion rifles or bows or slug shotguns, things like that. Weapons that tend to offer a little bit more skill behind them, or weapons that offer a little bit more requisite for accuracy. And I've been struggling really hard with some of these weapons, whether it be sniping or whether it be fusion rifling. Sometimes it's just really tough for me to line up the shots. And then there's also times where I feel like I have my shot lined up and it still doesn't connect. And that throws me off for the rest of the game. And it's not only that, but I feel like I always have kind of like an intermittently periodic, or like a periodic point throughout the game where I just don't do well. And like I feel like if I start going pretty well throughout the game and have pretty good hit registration, there's like a point in the game where it just ceases to do that. Like for some reason, like my hits just stop registering, or I just personally start kind of crapping the bed when it comes to where I'm lining up my shots, and I overly correct or I pre-fire too early, things like that. But I keep losing to things where I just don't know what I'm doing wrong when it comes to sniping, because there'll be times where I'm lined up on something and I'll pull the trigger and I'll hit the target where my reticle is located and it won't do anything. Like, and here's I've got a couple of examples, and that's what we're going to look at today, is just kind of just examples of that. So here's a shot that I did technically miss the crit box. And I'm not using any targeting perks on either my revoker or in my helmet, but that's just one of those situations where I just don't know if that's a hitbox that is closed because I'm not using the targeting perks, or if I'm just being that inaccurate and the hitbox is actually that small on PC. Because I've seen a lot of different streams where people will crack these shots and they're... Okay, so that is technically not in the hitbox. It's not that one particular snipe that I'm too worried about. In some cases, that would be considered a headshot on some situations, but this is the one I'm worried about. That looks like it should be registering as a headshot, and I can't follow up there because I didn't have any ammunition. But that last one seems like it should be a headshot, and in-game when that happens, I don't know really how to react to that. And I keep having a lot of games where this is happening, and I don't know if it's because of targeting perks that I'm not using, or if it's just latency because all of this is happening in Iron Banner, or if it's just bad muscle memory and bad timing. Like that is bad timing on my part. Like I didn't hit those shots accordingly, but at the same time, it's still very frustrating. So this is one of the longer clips that I have to analyze. So we're gonna backtrack through a couple of sections of this one particular clip so that we can look at it and see if it's like a connection thing, or see if it's like a hit registration thing, or just basically slow down the footage so I can see what the hitbox is doing. A lot of this is just personal discovery because I'm still learning mouse and keyboard, and I'm trying to learn ways that I can improve. But sometimes I feel like the game just robs me of like an actual shot that I should be hitting. And while this is an Iron Banner and it's not the most important thing in the world, it does affect my overall feeling when I play the game, and it affects my ability to play the game consistently. And that's what bugs me, is that it's affecting my ability to have confidence in my shot. and to play with different weapons too. So it's a really big mitigating factor to have this consistency issue happen all the time. And I know that it's Destiny PvP and that connection is a problem that has been plaguing Destiny 2, especially in the competitive and non-competitive PvP scene. A lot of people complain about it, but I was not expecting this amount of like inconsistency, especially because of how much time I've spent watching other people play on stream and off stream. Now that shot was terrible. That is definitely my fault. But because of how much time I've spent watching other people play, I have a pretty good source pool of visuals that I've seen other people use, or use snipers, and source pool of shots that they've hit. And watching them and watching mine, I just don't understand sometimes what differentiates that connection from one person to another to allow one shot that looks like it's 10 feet off the shoulder, or like 6 feet off the shoulder, whatever, to register as a crit, whereas my hitboxes seem to be so tight that even if I'm hitting the head, they're hitting his bodies. That's what I just don't understand. So in this clip, this particular situation, I'm trying to strafe. I had a bad timing there and a bad timing there because I just got out strafed in that one particular position. But this is a different situation. This is me on the lane preparing for somebody to jump shot, lining it up, and then I think just bricking the shot. Like, it looks like I hit the head on that one particular instance, but I could be mistaken. Tried to follow it up with another one. He peeked the lane. He was on a snipe as well, and here we go. I've got another shot trying to line up. Different guy or same guy, I can't tell. But let's see here, let's slow it down. Okay, so I can't tell if that was actually a headshot, but it looks like it was. Okay, here we go. No, I guess technically that's not. But I just don't understand, like, the difference between that section of the hitbox at that range versus, some of the other things that I'm seeing. Like, I am using Revoker, which has a lower aim assist value than some other snipes like Beloved. But I didn't realize, but it has a higher range stat, which means its accuracy cone should be a little bit higher. I just don't understand what it is that I'm doing wrong, or if my muscle memory just needs to be that much more precise on mouse and keyboard than it needs to be on, I don't know if it's like the field of view or the fact that there is no aim assist, but it feels like the bullet magnetism is just not correct. Like, that seems like I should be hitting a headshot in that position. Here's the repeak one. That looks like a headshot to me. Like, I don't understand that. I don't get that. Like, if I'm in a game like that where I'm hitting bodies that should be heads, that can be the determining factor between me using a gun in the first place and not using a gun in the first place. And if somebody happens to be in the game that has just better connection with a sniper, for whatever reason, then I could possibly lose that game because snipers are extremely powerful. And that means that if there's something that's like built into my netcode, or if there's something that's built into like my game period, or maybe I just have like bad bullet RNG, or my weapons aren't performing correctly, or whatever it is, I don't know what factor it is that's causing my weapons to like not connect with the shots that they're connecting this way. If I go into a game, I can't bring a sniper, right? Like, because I can't practice with a sniper and be consistent with a sniper and feel like I'm hitting shots and capable of hitting shots, so then I'm relegated to using something like a shotgun. In which case, I'm just going to be like a shotgun ape. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I've been using a shotgun to, like, pretty good, like, consistency, and I like the feel of hand cannons as well. Like, I've got my sensitivity dialed in pretty well with hand cannons. I like the way that I can play with hand cannons, but it seems like there's all these multi-dimensional sensitivities that I have to account for all the different weapon archetypes that I want to try and use, and I feel like I have to change that every single time I want to switch to a different weapon. Like, if I want to use a bow or a sniper, I have to use a slightly faster ADS modifier, or I have to use a slightly faster, what's it called, DPI. And then that affects the other weapons that I'm using as well. So I don't know what to do here. Like, I don't know if it's my fault or if it's Connection's fault. And then also here, like, I don't get it. Like, I'm more accurate hitting no-scopes than I am when I'm actually aiming my weapon. I promise you, I hit more no-scopes than I hit actual shots. It drives me nuts, man. Like, it's like, dude, why shouldn't I just run around with a sniper and try and body people like it's a shotgun? Because that seems to be more consistent for me. I don't know what the problem is. Really don't know what the problem is. So it's just frustrating. Like here, this is an interesting clip because there's multiple people on this lane, and one of these shots is delayed. So that's an enemy dodging in. I try to correct on that. That looks like it was trying to catch the back end of his hitbox, right in his back, but it didn't connect. Now that's a shot that's fired between two people, and that's a shot that's right under somebody's elbow. I just don't understand like how the hitboxes are really that concise, because I will run around in this game and get cracked left and right by people with snipers and not have any way that I can even counterplay it whatsoever. And then when I try and pull one out, it's like not even when I try and get lucky. Like getting lucky is the only thing that works for me in this game when I'm trying to snipe, is just get lucky forehead. That is my only strategy when it comes to sniping in Destiny 2 on mouse and keyboard. It's really frustrating. It's really frustrating. I don't know how to fix it, because I don't know how to increase like the practice. If it's like reaction time, I don't know how to improve my reaction time outside of just like doing like outside exercises. So there, okay, that I auto-corrected to the body. I had a headshot lined up, but that is a problem with, okay, I'm just watching that. Okay, that didn't seem too bad. This right here, this should be a headshot. I'm pretty sure it is. That's a headshot. Like, what is that? Like, how do I fight that? Is there any room for me to improve in that situation, or am I just doing this wrong? Like, what do I do there? How do I improve at this game if that's like the barrier to improvement? Like I cracked that guy right in the head. It's so frustrating. I don't want to make a video and just complain. This is supposed to be like a scientific video and look at, you know, like just consistency for weapons and all that kind of stuff, and analyze the actual footage, like what I'm hitting and what I'm not. But oh man, that is really frustrating sometimes. Really, really, really frustrating. So if you've got any tips or pointers or ways for me to improve while I'm trying to play mouse and keyboard and transition from console and using a controller to using mouse and keyboard, and you see anything that I'm doing wrong with mouse and keyboard, and you're somebody that plays PC with mouse and keyboard, and you've got some tips for me that can help, please send them my way, because I am actually really trying to learn how to improve that. And if you think that I'm just whining or griping or complaining for no reason, then that's fine too. I don't mind. I'm just really trying to make this video for self-improvement, just trying to improve, trying to look at the gameplay, trying to look at how I move through the map, trying to look at the points where I'm ADSing, why I'm ADSing there, lanes that I'm trying to cover, the angles that I'm trying to cover, my reaction speed, how I'm lining up my shot. Like in that situation, it looks like, you know, as reactively as I can, I'm hitting the head, but I'm just not getting rewarded for it. I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't want to put down snipers because it's a fun archetype of weapon to use, and I don't want to use like a bunch of targeting perks because I don't feel like that's the only way to improve the way that the weapon feels, but I guess that might be something that I have to do. I'm using an Icarus grip, which improves my accuracy in the air, but I just don't know if that's something that I should do. If I should transition into using like targeting perks or enhanced targeting perks or something like that in my helmet just to up my consistency, because I've tried it a couple of times and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, so I just don't know. I'm really kind of at a loss with this particular archetype of weapons. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.